You're listening to the Warlord Radio Podcast.
That was good, right? Start the whole episode.
And with that, we're back. So this is Warlord Radio, and Carrek is cracking open a beer.
I'm so happy to be back, guys. I know I missed the last one. I'm going to try and not make that happen. It's just my life. But I took on way too much shit for Halloween this year to go, dudes. Like,
gross.
I know. Wait, what? Gross. Diesel Beast is doing the Sabbath show where we're playing an entire, and like as we were talking about earlier, like Geezer Butler, he was not sleeping back there. There's a reason that Black Sabbath doesn't move, and it's because they're all busy playing, I think. You know what I mean?
For the people that don't know what the showcase is, tell them about it.
So there's a company in town called Do For It Records. They've been around forever, and they have a lot of bands. Do For It. We had James Jennings and other homeboy. He's gonna hate me for that because I saw him like 2 days ago.
I totally
forgot his name. But I do remember that he does the Jerry Jonestown Massacre podcast.
That's right. So check them out too.
So yeah, there's a plug. I forgot your name, but I plugged your show.
You'll remember it later, and remember in the middle of another thought.
That's how that works.
Like, oh shit.
That plug later.
So anyway, they do a show every year where it's like a tribute show where they get local bands to come and dress up as another band and then play a set as said band. And Diesel Beast was selected, and even though I lobbied so hard for the Diesel Beatles, because I wanted to play like metal-ass covers of Beatles songs, that would have been fun for me.
That would be cool. Maybe next year.
But we took on Black Sabbath, and because Black Sabbath, and like with the sole purpose being that Black Sabbath is not super flashy. It's very like straightforward, just metal with solid riffs and everything like that. But
flashy in the sense that they're very calm on stage.
Very, very calm.
Ozzy,
yeah.
like he's the front man, and obviously he plays that role, but you slow down with age. So and they're very calm on stage, and
they always have been. Even if you watch like old oh, by the way, Randall's here again, everybody. We love Randall here on this show.
We were getting to it.
Number 3.
So Randall wins the belt so far for most visits to Warlord Radio. This is number 3. So we're going to make up a belt for the champion that appears most on the show, and Randall can carry around at the beginning.
Exactly. But first, what we're going to do is continue this Black Sabbath conversation, because what I was talking about is like, we all knew that we weren't going to have a whole lot of time this Halloween season, and so we were like, let's pick a band that's like straightforward, monster-ass riffs, really iconic shit, like just fucking, and one of my favorite bands ever.
So just for perspective, like it's a showcase where every year a band will pick a band to cover.
Yeah, like last year, The Spectacle came out as Death Clock and fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, House Harkonnen came out and were Nirvana, and it was like watching Nirvana, honestly. Yeah. It was like, holy
this year it's a weird mix. It's all my favorite high school bands like Depeche Mode, System of a Down.
Yeah.
And y'all are...
We're doing Sabbath.
Who's doing System?
I don't... It's really... The poster does not make it clear. It just says with members. Yeah, somebody's playing... I think Urizen...
Dude, you should come out
is Depeche Mode,
and I don't know. Encore is Fieldy from Korn.
Oh my god, and just sit there and fucking slap the open D for fucking... Just
and hold it like 3 inches from the ground.
Okay, when you're talking about Fieldy, who is, hot take, one of the shittiest bass players I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
Fieldy or Twiggy Ramirez from Marilyn Manson.
Twiggy, because he's a way better.
Terrible, and he's also a bad
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
who is worse as a bass player?
Oh.
That's a really hard, because they both...
Fieldy.
Man, are you sure?
Yeah.
Twiggy, I love Marilyn Manson. You know I love Marilyn Manson.
Well,
but Twiggy is a terrible fucking bass player.
He also played bass for 9 Inch Nails.
And that was cool, and
so
somebody taught him
those better songs doesn't make him any better person.
Okay, but then the tiebreaker on that argument is that I heard his solo album, and that was fucking garbage. Twiggy has a solo album, and it's horrible. What?
Goon Moon? Is that it?
I think that's what it's called. I listened to like 2 or 3 tracks off of it, and I was like, yeah, he's really bad. Yeah. I hate this. But no, it's so weird that because I love Marilyn Manson. Like, truly, that is a shoot from Carrek. Like, I've always loved Marilyn Manson. I've followed that dude's like whole fucking career.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love Marilyn Manson.
What's your favorite album?
Oh, okay, man. Hold up.
Few albums, if you can't choose just one.
We're gonna make you pick one.
Okay.
You can give an honorable mention.
I'll give some honorable mentions, and then I'll say my favorite because I know which one's my favorite. Antichrist Superstar is an iconic album. Mm-hmm. That was when Marilyn Manson tricked all the goth kids into thinking he was goth.
It's just shocking.
Yeah, no, man. But Antichrist Superstar is an honorable mention because it is an iconic album.
That's my favorite.
For nostalgia purposes, It Smells Like Children because that was the first album I ever heard of his.
Right.
And that one had like Sweet Dreams. What's weird about It Smells Like Children is it's mostly just covers. Like garbage sound bites and covers and shit. Like it's really weird.
It's kind of like an EP too. It's not quite a full length album.
Yeah.
Well, hot take. I'd like him to stop doing covers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't heard have you heard the grave? What's that song called? The Johnny Cash song. Ain't no grave can hold
God's
my
gonna cut you
body.
down.
Or no, that's the one he did. Is God's gonna cut you down.
Yeah, I haven't.
I haven't either. I'm kind of scared of it because I want him to grow as an artist, I suppose. Because he's put out some shit stuff too. Yeah. But anyway,
y'all don't have the rights to listen to that now and just get a reaction, do you?
Yeah.
You don't know. You can't play that, can you? Okay.
No.
Although I don't know.
Yeah, that shit'll get you taken down off YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah. We rely on YouTube for views, but okay. So another honorable mention, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a return to roots because I loved Mechanical Animals. Like a lot of people really hated that album, but
that was the first time I saw Marilyn Manson was that tour.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
I was like just old enough to be able to go to a concert.
That was the latest in his catalog, so he would still play like Lunchbox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
which brings me
Sodomy.
to my favorite album.
That's my second favorite is Portrait of American Family.
That is my favorite album.
There you go.
And it's because Lunchbox, man. Lunchbox was one of those songs that when I was first learning how to play music, like that was one of the ones that I learned because it was like a fucking 3 chords, like.
But that's a very redeeming album for Twiggy, though, or not redeeming, but like why I would choose Twiggy over Fieldy because that album, those bass lines they're not hard, but they're involved.
They are involved.
He's
there's a melody there or something. It's like he did not stop giving a shit yet. Mm-hmm. Which is nice.
Right.
It really is.
I think my favorite album is Mechanical Animals for New Model number 15.
That's a great fucking song. And Coma White, dude. Coma White's an excellent fucking song.
I think Mechanical Animals and Hollywood have some of the best in-between songs that weren't like the hits.
Yeah, exactly.
Like President Dead.
Nobody out there saw that, but when he said the hits, he like kicked his foot up in the air like he was punching down a wall.
Like Rock is Dead and fucking The Beautiful People. If I never heard that song, Ever Gonna Be Too Soon.
That's not one of the better songs on Antichrist.
But he makes money every time, like that. And Nine Shells Closer, and any band that has to play that one song you are sick of. They get money every time they play it, so like I get it.
Yeah.
But,
man, like I'm not even gonna lie. I heard Jimmy Buffett talk about Margaritaville one time, so I'm taking a hard right here.
It all ties together, people.
Yeah, but they asked him if he ever, because he has to play it, he's like contractually obligated to play that song for like 7
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. No one is going to see Jimmy Buffett to not hear Margarita.
No, they're going to go drink fucking margaritas and fucking go listen to Margaritaville.
But I think I know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
But yeah, he had this interview and they were like, do you ever resent, playing that song or writing that song? Because the dude that wrote like Cherry Pie, like hated himself for that.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name because it was just the saddest guy. Jimmy Buffett, they asked him, they're like, do you resent having to do Margaritaville at every show? And he was like, Margaritaville bought me like a big ass house and a pool and put my kids through college and shit. He's like, I'll play it right now. You have a guitar?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll play it right now. And I got so much respect for that dude. I was like, that was so honest. It's like, dude, no, I built my life around that song. I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
With a kazoo.
There's a funny story, and I first heard it from Brutal Ben, who is shortly in my band, and he's also in Incinerator and Die Antichrist.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ben Shanks.
I've met him once or twice. Yeah.
And he was passing the story down. I can't remember the exact wording, so I'm paraphrasing here, but it was Billy Milano was approached to put a song in either a movie or a commercial. I can't remember what, but it was something like someone was like, "Hey, we want to use your song," and he was like, "Hey man, he's we're from the underground, and that's kind of really like looked down upon."
Yeah.
He's like, "We're not really cool with that." And the guy's like, "I'll give you $12,000. He's like, "You just bought a song, sir."
You just bought a song. No, okay, so
You belong in the underground with $12,000.
Yeah.
I have a sellout moment. Like, you know about it, you don't know about it. The Warlords out there don't know about it, but
They will soon.
Diesel Beast is playing at Six Flags on Sunday.
Cool. That's a big sound system.
It's just weird to think though, like we had to do this whole like contract thing, and like it was really
That's
weird.
funny.
And I accidentally spit blood on the contract. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
I got headbutted in the mouth in a riverboat gambler's pit. Like
As you will.
At
Yes.
Six Flags?
No,
Yeah,
that would
yeah.
have been awesome. No, I was
Bunch of
working.
8-year-olds.
Yeah. No, I was working a show the night before, and I got headbutted in the pit at a riverboat gambler's show, and it like knocked a couple of teeth loose, and like so my gums were bleeding. Very, liberally, but they were, it wasn't too
Liberal
bad.
gums.
My liberal
Bad
gums.
bleeding.
But so they hand me the contract for the Six Flags thing, and I don't like it. What I don't like about the Six Flags gig is we're playing for this like multi-billion-dollar corporation for literal exposure bucks.
Right.
But my sellout moment is that they gave me 2 like speed passes and VIP passes to everything at the park, and I get to take my kid out for a day and just like be like, "Daddy's a fucking rock star, man.
Dad
We're gonna get
points
hot
through the
dogs."
roof.
Yeah, Dad points through the roof.
Score.
So yeah, I'll play fucking 3 sets of Diesel Beast songs, which is something I would do anyway for, fucking to go hang out with my kid for a day. But yeah, the funny thing was, because I'm the only one in the band that got like the ickies from the corporate, not paying us shit.
Everyone's like, "Yeah."
They're like, "Yeah, man, this is gonna be awesome," and I'm like, "Man, they're not paying us anything though."
Okay, so what is compensation again?
Compensation again is catering for us and our +1, and then VIP and speed passes for everybody in a +1. Which is, if you think about how fucking expensive Six Flags is,
Right.
Like it's good in savings, I
Useless
guess.
to me. I hate roller coasters.
I do too, but my kid doesn't, so I'm gonna go fucking see what happens.
I feel the same way if I had a kid.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
But the funny part of that story is, my gums are bleeding and my teeth are kind of loose, and they hand me the fucking contract that we have to do, and I sneeze. Blood all over the Six Flags
Was it like nice and decorated and splattered
Dude, it
out,
looked
or
like
was it a flim wad?
No, man, it looked like a Jackson Pollock. It was like, pow, like right across the front.
There that is now.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And so, and they, like, we had no choice. Like, we had to turn that in. And so, like, I'm sorry, Six Flags, I guess.
Yeah.
But I spit blood all over your contract.
I don't know. I wouldn't flinch from that. I don't think that's a sellout. To me, like, I have a particular definition of selling out, and to me, selling out would be altering what you do for money.
That's fair, and that's the cool thing about us is like our show is not clean, but our lyrics are clean, so we can play.
Like, you're going to be playing Diesel Beast.
We're playing Diesel Beast.
That to me is not selling out. That's just succeeding.
We were a little worried that they wouldn't let us sell some of our merch there because they were like, no,
the
like,
sigil and all.
Yeah, and all that shit. And we have, because they have a no religion rule is I guess how they do that thing. So they're like, no Satanism, but nothing else. And I'm like, really, Jars of Clay fucking played here.
Right.
And that's a deep cut.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Christian
no,
rock band.
So you're saying you won't be able to hook me up with that game?
With no, can I get Silver Tongue Devil at Fright Fest weekend at Six Flags?
I would
my
do
God.
It. I would do it.
Would it be
just to get
How big is
escorted
the
out?
stage? I mean,
No, it's huge. We're playing the Gothic stages.
That's
essentially.
cool,
Yeah,
like,
dude,
just-
like,
That's cool, man. Success.
Like, even success, you did it.
yeah,
Fucking
the only
yes.
problem, and we were gonna take video, but they were like, if you're gonna take video, you have to include our logo in the video, and we're like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's a little too much. But
Yeah.
I
so we're
mean,
not
did
gonna
they
shoot
say
the
like
video.
it has to be featured, or it can just be passed over? You don't have to worry about the copyright, but you have to show you're there.
I still think
You can interpret that and then
flashing
do
a Six Flags logo in a Diesel Beast video that's maybe a little much.
Could you do like a subliminal, like Exorcist cut where it's like, boop?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Just like go to Six Flags, like just like that.
And then have like an inverted cross with like hermaphrodites and stuff like that, like full Gorgoroth.
See, that's why I can't do corporate things.
Well, the only thing that changes for you at this show is you can't smoke a cigarette on stage.
That is true, and I'm bummed about that.
Yeah, you have to do 3 sets.
Okay, so I'm the only one selling out here.
All right.
Because I can't.
You might have to run to the side of the stage between songs and just like.
I'll also tell you this though, I sell out for my kid any day.
Yeah,
they were like, hey man, can you change this to 1,000 bloody nights of steak and shakes? I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, well.
Sign that check till that kid's out of college. And
right.
I get to have integrity again after that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So back to Black Sabbath.
So back to Black Sabbath. Turns out if you're the bass player of Black Sabbath, it's really fucking hard to play.
Now we need to go back to Randall's favorite Marilyn Manson.
That's true. We totally rabbit hole ourselves into 2 different rabbit holes here.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it was Mechanical Animals.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Then Hollywood and probably Portrait of American Family.
Okay, side note, somewhat related, favorite typo negative.
Ooh.
Oh, October Rust.
Yeah?
Easy.
Nice. What about second place?
Second place is
What's the name of that
probably... It's probably Bloody Kisses. Because and then third is... Such a typical type. No, third is Life is Killing Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I really love World Coming Down.
World Coming Down is a good album. It's a really good album.
World Coming Down is probably one of my least favorite.
There's a
I
fucking
still
random
love
ass
it.
album.
I'm still familiar with all the songs. Each one of their albums is definitely top 7 albums they released.
I like the early stuff because it has a little bit of carryover from Carnivore, his other band.
Carnivore is fucking ridiculous.
I love Carnivore.
World Wars 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Dude.
I love Carnivore.
For those of you that don't know what Carnivore is, I want you to, if you know Typo Negative, you know who Peter Steele is. Peter Steele is maybe one of the most imposing frontmen of all time. Like, I've never been scared of a frontman before, but Peter Steele scared the crap out of me. He was like, what, 6 foot?
He's like 6'6" or something like that.
Yeah, he was huge.
And he was built.
Yeah, and he was built, but then he had this band called Carnivore where he wore a red Adidas sweatsuit and played like...
Well, it was thrash.
Still, yeah, it was thrash, but it was so weird.
Yeah,
it was like nuclear Fallout thrash.
Yeah.
He would sometimes wear like a loincloth and throw meat out at the audience. And
And
that sounds about right.
They put a lot into like what they look like. I think one of his family members like helped him sew that stuff together.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love. They got 2 albums out.
I read
love
the Soul on Fire book.
Check it out.
Nice.
New York thrash. It's kind of like a mix between like thrash and hardcore.
Yeah.
But with like Pete's lyrics, like what was it? Jesus Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And race wars and stuff like that. So
they were actually, they were pretty good.
Oh, they really? I love it. Like I unironically loved it. Like,
you know what's weird? This is weird. You know the dude, the bass player from Manowar?
Yeah, Joey DeMaio.
Yes, thank you. Joey DeMaio and Peter Steele have the exact same eagle tattoo on their left arm, and I don't know if it's like there's a reason for that, or if they just both went to the same tattoo parlor and were like, yeah, I want fucking that one. Because they were both New York.
That one sells.
That one sells. But it was like I had this encyclopedia of metal, and I literally sat there for like 5 or 10 minutes, like flipping back and forth between Joey DeMaio.
That's the same fucking.
I was like, that's the same goddamn tattoo.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. So the Black Sabbath thing. To go back to our original rabbit hole.
And we're starting.
Yeah.
Welcome to Warlord Radio Podcast.
Right. We also have a guest. We'll get to him eventually.
Eventually. But the Black Sabbath thing, and Randall is also a bass player. Randall's a very good bass player, as a matter of fact.
Randall's
not made that clear on the show. Yeah.
How dare you?
Randall's a fucking great bass player.
And he's great at promos.
He is great at promos. We should just get you to do all of our commercials. This is Randall. I'm in no way associated with these 2 assholes.
Right.
Hi, I'm Randall. I play a Monogamizer. What's that? Tune in this Sunday on Warlord Radio Podcast. It may or may not have anything to do with Monogamizer.
There you go.
We should send that. Have him cut the whole promo for Harry Rock Radio.
There you go.
Harry Rock Radio.
Just really hyping up Monogamizer and then just kind of mentioning Warlord Radio Podcast.
Oh yeah.
We may or may not be on the show.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're lucky to hear my voice today.
Right?
Yes.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. No, one of the funniest things I ever saw you do on stage, I laughed my ass off. I was running your merch booth.
You told this last.
Did I? It was so fucking funny though. Yeah. I died. For anybody that didn't listen to the last one, go back and listen to the last one and hear this rad story. Just everyone, because it was monogamy.
Highest episode ever.
Was it?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh, that was really some nice pandering.
I know. I'm just making up shit.
You're really good at this podcast thing.
Yeah, I'm great at this. But for anybody that didn't listen to that episode, go back and listen to it. It's a great episode. But it was one line. But you guys finished the song.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Like everybody clapped, and that was what you said in the mic, and I almost fell out of my fucking chair.
That's great.
Oh man. So but my point is that I'm really tired. The Black Sabbath thing and the play at the same time have been kind of nuts.
Black Sabbath's music is not to be trifled with.
Exactly.
They are a very calm but involved
Yes.
band.
Craig said this last night, and it was totally accurate, because I know this because for the last 3 weeks I've been playing nothing but fucking Black Sabbath songs. Everybody in the band is playing something different. Everyone. Like, the fucking dude, Bill Ward is back there just kind of rolling on toms like crazy. Geezer Butler is soloing the whole time, and then the actual bass line is being held down by the lead fucking guitar player with like these monster riffs, and then Ozzy does not pay attention to things like time signatures and rhythm and melody. He pays attention to none of that. He's like, it fucking fits, yeah.
But it works.
It totally works.
Somehow it works. Like they're like, I don't know of another band that pulls that off. Because there's a whole subgenre of bands, right? Like doom and stoner rock and stuff like that. They're offshoots of
Sabbath
worship. And there's some
I'm a Sabbath
there's some great bands in there, but none of them do what Sabbath did as far as like literally like everybody is kind of riffing in their own way and it somehow gels, because that is a real quick way for things to turn into a train wreck. And the fact that it doesn't is astounding.
Right? And as we have talked about on this show before, if you're going to do like a tribute act, you need to pay tribute to the act and learn the shit. And I am going to tell you that as a bass player specifically, Geezer Butler, I've said before that he's one of my favorite bass players ever. That has changed. He is now my favorite bass player ever. He is the tastiest fucking riffer in the world, and like you said, he never plays like the same fill twice. It's always different. Like he keeps it constantly changing, and it has been.
Those songs are deceiving too.
Like War Pigs sounds like the easiest
all the
thing
songs
in the
in
world.
a hum, like na 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 na. Like you can hum out all the songs, and it's simple, but like.
When you actually isolate the bass tracks to these songs, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I said, my best example is War Pigs. War Pigs, when everybody thinks War Pigs, they think dun 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 dun.
I think of the back cover.
Did Beck cover War Pigs?
I think he did.
Nah.
I think that was Cake.
I think of the Cake cover.
Right?
Sweet, yeah. No, nice edit. No, but like the bass in War Pigs specifically is crazy.
Yeah.
There are so many and it's weird blues and jazz fills and shit. Like it's all wild and all up in it. But it has been very difficult.
Favorite Sabbath album?
Ooh. It's either, I can't take a clear winner, it's either Black Sabbath or Volume 4.
Yeah.
And fucking Masters of Reality.
If you gotta pick one though. For the sake of argument, gotta pick one.
Just the first 6. That's my favorite Sabbath album.
But
you broke my brain. Ask Randall.
I don't have a favorite.
You have a favorite Sabbath album? Damn.
I'm not enough of a Sabbath fan.
Totally on the hot seat. All right, well then I'm gonna throw this one at you. Favorite Nine Inch Nails album?
Broken.
No shit, that's a great fucking album. Volume 4.
Yeah.
Is Volume 4. Volume 4, they kind of knew what they were doing in the studio more, I think, so it's a little bit more mature, I guess.
Right.
But goddamn, Black Sabbath is such a good damn album. It's so fucking good.
All of them. Like, you can't say shit, really.
I will say this, though. Two things. And these are Black Sabbath songs that are very iconic, and they are actually two of the easiest songs I've ever played in my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
Paranoid.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert, we're busting out Paranoid.
Good.
You don't play a Black Sabbath set without playing fucking Paranoid.
A handful of songs you gotta play.
Exactly. But Paranoid it's that one riff for like 3 minutes.
And it's
the
true,
whole time.
but it's brilliant.
No, it is brilliant. Its simplicity is so iconic.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. But there's one fill, like easy climb up bass fill, like this, but it's the whole same thing.
So when are you going to do a 9 Inch Nails tribute project?
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Dude, you should.
I'll come and slap an E string for you.
Dress like Trent. Have a keyboard.
I'm basically there.
Throw keyboards out at the audience and stuff like that.
Bust the keys off of them by playing.
I've definitely.
You could even do it just like a do for it like showcase or something, like a one-off.
I've definitely daydreamed of covering 9 Inch Nails. And I've daydreamed about like Type O Negative, but I would want to do the songs justice and sing competently.
Right.
But 9 Inch Nails, you could.
I think you could do that.
Be raspy.
If you were, for Nails, it seems like it'd be tricky to change the synth lines into guitar parts.
Yeah, I think for
Yeah,
instance,
there's
if we
one
did
band could do that. It's Monogamizer.
Oh, I mean, I know.
Like Alex would basically also be the keyboard player, or we would probably just find someone to fill in. We would tune to standard first of all,
Right.
Yeah.
and then find a keyboard player, a couple people I can think of.
What is Monogamizer's tuning?
It's D standard. It's
Okay.
a step down from standard. It's
Right
it's
on.
the Pantera and the System of a Down tuning.
Right on.
And I dropped the C.
Okay. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why, because Monogamizer is heavy as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
you guys play a lot of real weird, like, funk licks and shit, but, like, when you guys go heavy, it's like, that is fucking heavy.
Yes.
This album we are dropping later this year. It's later this year, or it may even time out to early next year, but it's done.
Nice.
It's done. We just need to. We've been shopping around for labels, and we're not really satisfied with what we've found now. So we're just gonna release it.
That's what we did.
On our own
we
home label,
shopped a couple of labels because we had a good product, but we didn't like anything we were seeing.
And put it out ourselves, and then it could still do a limited release, and it could still get picked up later. But we just want to get it out. It's got some of the heaviest stuff I've ever had the pleasure to play.
Nice.
Nice, man. I am so excited for this album. I think I said that a bunch of times on the episode that you guys were on here.
Yeah.
I've had the cover of the album out for like a year now.
Well, no, I had 3 anticipated albums that were this year. I hope yours comes out this year, but we'll see. But it was Pax Satanica, which is Silver Tongue Devil's new album. Go check that out, Pax Satanica. Yeah. But anyway, shameless plug, but it's a really good fucking album.
Thank you.
And then Rod Obsidian's new album with Leon Carlo, their violin player, so it's like much more symphonic.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking forward to that one.
And then when's the album release on that? That's in November,
That's
right?
November 15th. We're playing
You're playing
one of the
it.
shows.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of album releases. We're doing like the Denton one because we pull Will.
They even have a listening party.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go.
But yeah, Rod of Obsidian is one of the more disciplined bands.
For sure.
DFW.
Yeah, I
Every
would
time
agree.
I've seen they have been.
Yeah, Eric is a very shrewd businessman, and Andrew is a very creative dude. I talked to him a little bit the other night because they're shopping around for a venue for Krampus Fest. And I don't know if you've ever played at Krampus Fest, but it's really fun. I think they do like 8 songs on the bill or some shit like that, or 8 bands on the bill rather, and it's,
I remember.
But it's like always like because Eric is really good about picking out bands that pull. So like I don't know, it'd be really cool to he wants to do like a huge one, and if that pans out, that could be epic. So
Shooting Tsars is gonna work on an album this winter.
Nice.
no shit.
Yeah.
Full album?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
We are playing Trees the day before Thanksgiving with
I'll be
Days
there.
and Days. We're opening a show that headlines with Days and Days on November 27th, the day before Thanksgiving.
Here's the thing, I hate Thanksgiving. I don't like the food, I don't like my family, like I don't fucking like anything about Thanksgiving.
You're not about it, okay.
No, and so I have a tradition that's been going on for years because you get to do this when you have a kid. Like Christmas, for me, is next level, bro.
Yeah.
Like I gotta get that kid, always has to be somewhere.
Right.
At some distant relative's family so he can get all the presents and shit. Or he'll freak out. Like, it's not great.
Right.
Christmas is just fucking brutal.
Right.
So every Thanksgiving, I literally sit in my underwear and eat turkey sandwiches, like cold cuts, and watch wrestling. And that's what I do the entire day on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for like 4 years now. Like, to the point where, like, my ex-wife and my son would go, like, off on their own Thanksgiving excursions. And I'd be like, nope, I'm going to be right here eating my sandwich in my underwear.
Good, watching wrestling.
By the way, we're going to get the WWE Network right around the week of Thanksgiving. But, I don't know, man. WWE's been weird lately, Randall. What do you think about that?
They have been competing,
I think so.
and it's kind of weird to see WWE finally acknowledge, okay,
We have a contender.
maybe we can do more with our TV. Like maybe we can start doing edgier storylines, and it's almost overdue. Where it's like anything they do is going to be overly scrutinized. But like I don't know. I got out of wrestling while it was still the Attitude Era going into the Ruthless Aggression era.
Right.
So around
the John Cena era, that was really the Brock Lesnar.
dipped out.
Yeah, me too. Right about the same
Right
time.
before the rise of John Cena. I remember hearing about 2004 WrestleMania 20, and then I faded out, and then did the rest of high school into college, growing up, and then came back into wrestling in 2015.
Yeah.
Right at the end of John Cena, basically. Like I've gotten to see plenty of Cena, but like he had already done.
It's like when you go back and, cause here's the deal, like John Cena totally turned me off in the beginning of that Ruthless Aggression era because he was the director of Thugonomics and he was just a white rapper dude. It sucked, man. It was like insulting. Like,
His gimmick in OCW was what was it?
the prototype.
Prototype.
The proto, and he had like spike. It was fucking ridiculous, like faux hawk.
But I liked that.
The thing is, like, that was before I really got the concept of a heel.
I like John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, like.
Now I look back at the guy's career and I'm like, you were really fucking good at this, man. Like, really fucking good. But we were gonna do a whole thing tonight, but stay tuned. We're gonna do a wrestling episode. We've been talking about it for years.
Well, I mean, we can talk about it now, but we're also going to do a wrestling episode with like several guests and people beat each other up.
Don't
It'll be
do it
great.
until Jesse, and see if you can get DJ down here too.
Yeah, that would be badass.
The Uberans.
Yeah, and then Brim, and then you, and then Carrek, and I'll just be getting
Mediator.
blasted in the background, laughing.
Yeah, but we were essentially going to talk about like what AEW is doing to professional wrestling.
We could make you watch like
That would-
3 have-to-watch matches, like Triple H, Cactus Jack, Hell in a Cell.
Fuck yeah.
Have you go cold into 3 matches or some matches and get your reaction? Maybe even have you watch a match.
And this is I get bashed for this all the time, but there's the WrestleMania where Roman Reigns fought Brock Lesnar and then they just started fighting for real in the ring, and then until both of them were just fucked up beyond belief and they made Seth Rollins run out and take the belt. Did you ever see that match?
No.
Okay, then I really would like to watch that match because they start off and they lock up, and you can tell like when Brock Lesnar comes out, Brock Lesnar doesn't give a flying fuck about Roman Reigns. And like Roman Reigns is like, I have something to prove to this fucking giant Neanderthal piece of shit, Brock Lesnar.
Right.
And
You're not a Lesnar fan.
I am not a Lesnar fan. I'm not a Lesnar fan as a person. I think he's a piece of shit. He's a dickhead. Like, shoot interviews with that guy, I'm like, God, fuck you, man.
How do you feel about Brock Lesnar?
I am more of a Jersey Mike's kind of guy. He has to wear Jimmy John's.
He has to wear Jimmy John.
That's the most okay, money talks, people listen, I get
For sure,
it. He has made a lot of money. Cool. Tight. I can't shit, if Puma came to me and said, okay, Monogamizer's a Puma band now, I'd think, fuck yeah, you gonna make a Puma bass?
Puma everything.
Hell yeah.
Puma bass. I want a fucking Puma
Yeah.
I will
bass now.
throw Pumas
Fuck
at
yeah.
the audience.
Just a bucket of Pumas.
But that is the most un-Brock Lesnar like logo ever. Like, oh, the Beast Incarnate, brought to you by Jimmy John's.
Brought to you by Jimmy John's.
Right.
Sorry, my phone.
We brought bean sprouts back. Hey.
So what's going on with Chris Jericho? Did he win some kind of title?
Chris Jericho he jumped ship to AEW, which is...
He's the AEW champion.
Right.
I will not
So I was
say-
right. So I knew
yeah.
something about wrestling.
I would not say that AEW is necessarily a competition for the WWE, but what they are establishing is that they could be at some point.
I watched some AEW before coming here, and I caught up. They have this program on YouTube called or maybe it's not just on YouTube, but it's called AEW Dark. And a dark match is stuff you don't see on TV. So like after Raw is done, after they film Raw, a lot of times they'll have a cool match afterwards, like a match you might see at a pay-per-view or like a really like a WrestleMania match even,
right.
that is not televised, and that's a dark match.
Okay.
So AEW has been televising on YouTube or broadcasting rather, their dark matches, and I watched some of that, and they also show just their whole program without the commercials on YouTube, which is something WWE wouldn't do. You have to be there to watch it or catch the highlights or watch if you don't watch a highlight reel, you have to watch someone like who taped it. Like, but it's as a company, AEW is really addressing a lot of those consumer concerns with wrestling fans. Like, you can just go back and watch on YouTube the show all the way, no commercials. You can watch all the Dynamite there has ever been so far on YouTube, and that's cool. Mm-hmm.
What's weird is, I don't know if you know this, anybody that knows about wrestling knows, like, this is kind of a weird situation here, because there was this guy, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, who's a fucking icon wrestler. Mm-hmm. Both of his sons were successful wrestlers. One of his sons is Goldust, who you might know from the Attitude Era. He was the dude with all the gold makeup and shit. He was really...
the gold one.
The gold one. Yeah, he was totally the gold one. Yeah, I like gold. No, Goldust was interesting because he started like... What year would you say?
Goldust is probably my favorite WWF, WWE character.
Mine too, yeah.
Because he debuted in 95.
95.
And do y'all know what postmodern means?
Yeah.
He's probably one of the only truly postmodern wrestlers, if you want to pull the terms like that into it. Because it was an invention of Vince McMahon, which is another weird fact.
Right. But he was like, Vince McMahon essentially was trying to make fun of gay people.
He came along and all the machismo that was backstage, but also in the spotlight of the wrestling, because 95 was a different time.
Yeah, we're talking like you were supposed to be on steroids with a mullet and talk shit about like races that were different than yours.
Men were men, women were eye candy if they were on TV. This is what wrestling was, right? You know? But he poked all that in the eye and played the homoerotic and really played on everyone else's homophobia, because everyone would be like, who is this fruitcake? You can't say fruitcake on TV nowadays.
Right.
No, don't even go close to that. And your career's done.
Yeah, you're done.
Rightly so.
Brock Lesnar.
But he's postmodern to me because at a time when that was this is a few years before the Attitude Era, like 3 years before everything ramped up and they made everything as edgy and as sexual as possible. So he poked all that in the eye, and he was also just a great performer. And
and he was really solid ass wrestler. I mean, just all around, like he was
his character. There's a SummerSlam '96 promo.
Yes.
Where he.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like in this promo, all the wrestlers are like lined up, and he reaches behind and like pinches Triple H's ass, and they all like British comedy style get into like a sped up like rumble. But like that, Goldust, it's his character just pushed. If you watch Wrestling with Shadows, Bret Hart explains it perfectly. Like he takes that homoerotic and that homophobic aspect, and just pushes that envelope and just goes for it. And he's on top of just being a super interesting character. It's funny that Goldust would even exist or happen.
Yeah, seriously, like especially at the time, because I mean we're talking 1995 here.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was not the most tolerant era of America.
That's a good way to put it.
But more than 1985.
Yeah, but I mean this guy was so
lynched.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been bad. I don't know.
The bad word.
I feel like
it wouldn't have been safe.
I feel like Dustin Rhodes is actually the kind of dude that still could have pulled that off in the mid '80s.
Yeah.
I feel like he was the one guy that kind of been like, oh yeah, fuck you, because like I dare you to go mess with him.
Right.
I dare. He'll beat your ass in real life. He's huge.
Right.
I met him at a wrestling convention. He is fucking enormous, dude.
I have Can You Handle the Heat, the cookbook.
Yes.
I have that. I've been wanting to. I don't have any autographs in it, but I've been wanting to go around and get autographs from that book.
Do you remember? Because you were a WCW fan, right?
When I got into wrestling, I found Nitro, and then someone introduced me to Raw. You can have all. You don't have to wait for Goldberg for 3 hours. You can have Stone Cold all night.
Yeah. But do you remember? Because Dustin, the guy that played Goldust, is Dustin Rhodes is his real name.
Runnels.
Runnels, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
the shoot name is, or the work
Rhodes.
name rather, is Rhodes. But he quit on live television for WCW at one point.
Yeah.
They gave him the gimmick that was. Do you remember that movie Dark City?
Oh yeah.
Seven was the name of that character. Yeah. I thought he was rad as fuck. I've even made him in wrestling games because I thought it was sick. I thought it was a cool ass character. But like
all his derivative characters in TNA were basically derivative off Goldust, and he will never be able to get away from face paint.
No, it works on him.
Yeah.
Oh, we should make Craig watch the Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes AEW match. Have you seen that?
That match.
That's some of the most blood I've ever seen in a fucking wrestling match.
That shoot where he on live TV where they fire his dad, and he goes out and gives a shoot interview on the mic on live TV.
Goldust gave a few shoot interviews on live TV, including the time he quit, because when they did the Seven thing, do you remember that movie Dark City?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that was popular, and so they gave him this whole like Cenobite look with the big Amish hat, and he was basically like a cross between Sting and the Undertaker.
Come out here and play trick or treat.
Yeah, man, and like so he floats to the ring, like they have him float out to the ring, and he gets down there, and as soon as he gets the harness off, you can kind of see it on his face, and he's just like, "Give me a mic," because you can tell he wasn't supposed to talk.
Right.
A character like that does not talk the first time they come out.
Right.
They just come out, whoop a little ass, and then go back to the back.
Right.
But no, he was like, "Give me a microphone," and he's like super southern. And he grabs that mic and he's like, "Got me out here playing trick or treat, face paint ruined my fucking life," like just like on fucking live TV in front of like just going at this company, and then just like you never see
Because
Seven
they
again.
fired his dad, who had pretty much had played a major role.
Dusty Rhodes has been a major figure in professional wrestling since, fuck man, 67?
I know the name. Even I've heard the name.
70s, and more prominently late 70s.
One of the best promo dudes in the business.
Right.
Son of a plumber.
Son of a plumber, I was born the son of a plumber. I heard a great story, and like, if any wrestling fan has a Dusty Rhodes impression, because he was fucking iconic. But have you ever heard the story about the time he got pulled over and the cop didn't know who he was? He's like, "What the fuck you mean you don't know who I am? I'm Dusty Rhodes, the American dream, Mark. Go home and tell your grandma you don't know who Dusty Rhodes is. She won't invite you to Thanksgiving no more." And it's like, fuck, man.
Second most recognizable athlete, second only to Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite era?
Oh shit. The Attitude Era was awesome, but when you go back and watch the Attitude Era through today's lens, it hurts a little bit sometimes. I think I'm really interested in what's going on right now.
Yeah.
The indie scene is blowing up because of the internet and YouTube, and you're getting to see like a lot more variety in your wrestlers and stuff. And then like AEW and Impact kind of give these guys like a home where they can go make like a living, not a WWE living, but a living.
It's probably it could be argued this is probably one of the best times to be a pro wrestling fan now, because I agree, I could go back and easily say Attitude Era, but also that's through the lens. I found the Attitude Era when I was 10 years old. I was the ultimate. That was their fan base.
Tits and macho dudes.
Of course, I bought the rubber at wrestling figures.
Oh hell yeah, me too.
Some of them that they like Gangrel and Dr. Death, they were trying to get rid of like $5. Like hell yeah, that's
yeah. Dr. Death is one of the saddest stories in all of fucking wrestling, dude. This guy.
My favorite sad story is he died in '97. Austin pulled a gun on him. Why am I spacing this thing? He was in the Heart Foundation.
Fuck. God damn it.
Don't look at me.
Dynamite Kid, not Dynamite Kid.
Brian
Pillman.
Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
Flying Brian Pillman. Thank you.
Flying
that was driving me fucking crazy.
I'm sorry, I interrupted a point.
No,
No, not at all. Talk about Brian Pillman, because Brian Pillman is one of the most tragic stories in
yeah. We okay, so I could pick the Attitude Era as my favorite era through the lens of when I saw it and I got to watch it live in front of me on TV. Yeah. But it doesn't age well. And
no.
If I had to choose between wrestling being that or today's wrestling, I'd go today's wrestling because tolerance is a great thing.
Yeah, it really is. It was really bad back then. Like there were some storylines like the Yakuza cut off Val Venus's dick.
Val Venus was awesome though.
Val Venus was awesome.
That.
His whole gimmick is that he was a male porn star that fucked everybody's valets. And it was so simple in its execution, and the guy that was Val Venus nailed it, dude. Yeah. Like he'd come out in a towel all greased up and shit, and you believe, you're like, yeah, that guy first off has a log, and second off, could probably pull this off.
Right.
He was kind of the ravishing Rick Rude of the Attitude Era, and he gets compared to him a lot, but I mean, the guy was a decent wrestler.
Val Venus, the highest either Venus or Rude did was Intercontinental.
Yeah, for sure. And Val Venus had this cool thing. When the Attitude Era kind of ended, there was one clever thing that they did, and again, I didn't really understand heels and faces at the time, so it kind of turned me off at the time, but now I look back at it and it's a genius move. Right to censor.
Yeah.
They had an entire stable of wrestlers that came out and were like, you can't do Attitude shit, era shit anymore. Like they'd come, like a girl would be taking her gear off and they'd come out and like cover in curtains.
And it was just the circle and era of the
logo. Yeah, it was just the no smoking sign of the Ghostbuster symbol or whatever. Yeah, it was so genius. And their entrance music was just an alarm, like a red alert. Yeah. That was it. Like it was annoying. It pissed everybody off.
And on the game No Mercy, man. The rendered down graphics, it still showed their whole video.
Yeah. And it was so fucking gnarly.
I think my very favorite time period in wrestling is WWE 2002. The early part of 2002, before Stone Cold walked out on the company. If you go back and watch Raw, their graphics, it was just raw right across the ring, and it was before they did the slanted 2003 era, like technical Raw era with Eric Bischoff, but like
everybody's like sort of a spaceman. Yeah, it was really weird.
The Raw that few months in early January to like April who was 2002 was
crushing it at that time was Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was annihilating Raw because that was the whole Raw is Jericho like kind of era. It was that 2 years between 2000 and 2002.
I got to remember seeing Jericho for the first time.
That guy is truly a fucking great wrestler. Like, I listened to his podcast for a really long time.
Talk is Jericho.
Yeah, Talk is Jericho. Yeah. It's fun. It's really fun.
He's one of those podcasters. He can talk to anyone, and you're interested in the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's some podcasts. I'll have to admit it. Like,
why are you looking at me when you say that?
I just called out on our own show.
I'm just kidding.
Craig, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
If you're not talking to me or someone almost as interesting, I'm not listening to you.
No, he doesn't need a plug from us, but Talk is Jericho is actually like a pretty decent podcast because that dude can literally talk to anyone.
Yeah.
The problem is like sometimes he says shit and I'm just like, like he's like I think he's a dinosaur denier or something. He's an evolution denier.
Really?
Yeah, I know. He kind of fucked the show up for me a little bit, but he was just like, yeah, I don't see how we're descended from apes. And I'm like, you're a wrestler. How the fuck do you not see that we're descended from apes? You were literally around human apes all fucking day.
You were the most ape person in the canon of people alive today.
I don't see how I'm an orangutan. It's like, we all fucking do, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in his show, the thing that killed it for me, though, and this is a hot take, and we'll never be on the Jericho Network, but...
I don't know that. Thanks for jinxing us.
I know, because what I'm about to say, this is going to disqualify us.
I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Are you ready to sell out to be on the Jericho Network possibly one day, or should I say what I was
Oh, say it. No, say it.
Fozzy sucks.
Yes.
Fozzy is one of the most terrible metal bands I've ever heard in my fucking life. And I don't even think it's him. I don't know. It's the lyrics are so goddamn bad.
Yeah. I appreciate the fact that he's a metalhead, but not a fan.
And what's really weird is, like, I like a lot of his tastes in metal, because he talks about metal on his show all the time. I'm like, yeah, man, fuck, Winger was good for a Christian metal band. Like, they were fucking badass. But, like, yeah, it was, or not Winger, Striper.
Right.
Damn, I fucked that whole
There's a
joke
clip
up.
now that exists of you defending Winger.
Kip Winger, you didn't deserve all of the honor that you got.
We got you, buddy.
We got you, buddy. Kip Winger, you are a friend to the Warlord Radio podcast. Oh, if we could get Kip Winger on this shit.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But no, like, yeah, I love Jericho's taste in metal, because he loves, like, that kind of, like, the Nawabum stuff.
Yeah.
And that early 80s to, like, early 90s, like, up into thrash, like, Bay Area thrash and shit. But, like, then you listen to Fozzy, and you're like, man, this is just Godsmack on Red Bull. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, Monster Energy drink. That's more apropos.
So, is there in wrestling? Are the eras? Are they clearly defined? Is it kind of like
for the most
metal,
part,
like
in
like
hindsight,
the metal tree?
it's in hindsight, it's more easily defined, but as time rolls on, like living in the moment, it's all blurs together. You know?
So, like, what would be like a chronological timeline?
Well,
of
I
the
mean, you
eras?
start with, okay, damn.
Because people debate about when the Attitude Era started or what instance that.
and not like I don't need like an exact breakdown, but like
It's usually in because wrestling's really big on dynasties.
Right.
So, like a lot of, this wrestler's kid became a fucking successful wrestler, and that wrestler's kid became a successful wrestler. So there's a lot of, like,
Nepotism.
There's a lot of nepotism, but it's kind of broken up into, like, about 30-year splits.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have is, like, you have the pre-televised era, which is, there are legends from that era that are just like, no, because it wasn't on TV, there were no rules, like, they just fucking killed each other.
yeah, they used real nails to like fucking punch dudes in the face and stuff.
And they had to worry about if we're going through the crowd getting stabbed. Like,
And nobody knew it was fake.
Yeah, it's still some people were smart to it, but it was still hazy in the audience as to was this a competition or not.
Yeah. Which is what I mean by fake, because, like, you cannot fake gravity. I've taken a body slam.
It's I wouldn't say fake. I think
was
it's
a
real,
work.
like scripted. How about that?
Yeah,
like,
scripted is good, and the wrestling term for that is it was a work. Like, nobody knew that, though. Like, it was a con.
Right.
I've talked about that on the show. It was a sideshow. Like, it was just like throwing the fucking hoop on the milk jug that's too big for the hoop to go around. Like, it was the same concept.
Right.
And they realized that if they could generate word of mouth traffic about, like, how much these two assholes hate each other and have them fight over here, then they can get people from that city to come over to that city. You know what I mean? It was kind of genius, but it was a total con.
And you talked about this before, but it was basically Vince McMahon that kind of
Vincent K. McMahon
took it like not solely responsible, but kind of took it from this underground circuit into kind of what's now a mainstream thing.
He bought the company from his father and then started to.
I'm sorry, Vincent J. McMahon was the one. Yeah.
Because I don't know a lot, but I know, like,
Vince
just
is
from
the
here,
Vince you know's dad.
It used to be like a regional thing, right?
Yeah,
Like, you'd have like a southern thing, and you'd have like an East Coast, and you'd have like
and you go
upper
wrestle over here for a while, and you go wrestle over here for a while, and it was all to not oversaturate the market on, like, big money stars.
Right.
Especially, like, guys like Andre the Giant or something. And Andre the Giant was one of those acquisitions of Vince McMahon that kind of solidified him as, like, this is the shit here. You know what I mean? It's because you couldn't have Andre the Giant go like lose in Sheboygan to the local hero anymore. You know what I mean? It was I don't know. It's a really wild system. One of the things that fascinates me about wrestling is the actual business side of it because it's so different than anything else.
Yeah. It's
theater and it's athletics and it's also kind of a con and it's also massive media now. I mean, you have to have like real knowledge of how social media and things like that work to get like indie wrestlers out there. But there are indie wrestlers that are huge.
So is McMahon still now? Is he kind of
actually? And this is going to crack you the fuck up. Vince is leaving WWE, at least as much as he can.
It'll always be his.
Yeah, it'll always be his, and he will always have a presence there.
Like ties.
Yeah. But he is shifting focus himself to start the XFL back up. Yeah. And I don't remember if you remember the XFL. Yeah. Holy shit. What's crazy about the XFL, though, is for how big of a failure it was, it revolutionized how the NFL films their television.
Right.
Like, he was the one to invent that camera on the track that goes all the way around the arena, so you get, like, the speed cam.
Right.
Like, and you don't see football games without that shit anymore.
Right, yeah, now it's common. But he did that.
Yeah. There's this really interesting documentary about the XFL and about how, like, it was... Because, I mean, the cheerleaders were strippers... And he wanted them to be like in fucking hot tubs with the players and shit between the fucking like commercial breaks and stuff. And it was like, it was awful. There was the most famous quarterback in their entire league was a dude named He Hate Me. Like that was on his fucking jersey. Like he gave this guy a fucking wrestling gimmick.
Right.
And it was so strange. And like there was
a bunch of that too.
Yeah, there was a bunch of different rules.
So he's kind of leaving wrestling
to start that garbage back up again.
Is there a reason that we know of?
He's senile.
He can.
Yeah, he's so rich.
Yeah.
He's able to.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's do that.
You know that Linda McMahon is like a member of Trump's cabinet.
No.
Yeah, his wife is a member. Like they bought their way into that.
I guess I'll give away my political bias. I'm not gonna watch SmackDown because I don't want to tune into Fox.
Yeah, I'm not either. I don't like Fox.
I want,
and that has nothing to do with political, actually. I just think their fucking programming is mostly garbage.
Well, Fox the network is designed to be the sword and shield for the Republican Party and the president. That's fine. There's media for everyone, but in this case, fuck Trump.
Yeah.
So,
I know dudes that have gone as far
Fox
as
is defending. It's a Republican channel, so they've always defended some crazy shit. But with Trump, it's just like, how it's beyond the point now. Every day is like something new, and like, how can you even defend this crazy shit anymore? So like, I'm not gonna watch SmackDown. I'll hear about it. I'll watch reviews on it and what happened. It's nothing against like the performers on SmackDown or the show itself. Really, it's just that they're on Fox. I don't even tune into Raw because I don't have TV.
Yeah.
I have online streaming and and a life.
If you ever feel like your job is useless, and I hate to talk bad about anybody that's just trying to make a living, but those dudes like in the back of Walmart trying to sell charter to everybody, it's like, does anyone have cable anymore? Like, why? You're gonna turn my kid into just a dick. You're not a dick, Jack. If you ever listen to this episode, you're not a dick. I love you
Whenever
very
you
much.
hear this episode,
right?
You are not a dick.
You are not a dick.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Kidding.
What? He's my kid. That seems likely. Pretty sure asshole is hereditary, right?
I think it shows up on like 21andMe or something.
Yeah, it's like you are 92% asshole, 8% Neanderthal.
Right? Happens.
I don't know. Okay, so like I don't give a fuck about any of the weird facial recognition software, like any of the Philip K. Dick type technologies we have going on. Don't bother me because like my whole mentality is just like, oh, if they get me, they get me.
Right.
But for some reason, I cannot bring myself to take it, like send my DNA off to some company.
Right.
It's like, hey, we're gonna analyze this. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I want to know
clone
my
Carrek.
I'd want to know
You'd want to
I would
know?
want where my bloodline comes from. Yeah.
I'm interested in where my bloodline comes from for sure. I've got good records in my family, so I kind of know where my bloodline comes from to a point. But it would be cool to like trace it all the way back. But like, I'm just worried about like some clone Carrek popping up, and then like being better at my life than I am. I'm just like, fuck you, man.
Just harvest his organs.
New
liver.
New lungs. Heavy smoker, guys.
There you go. You could up it to like 4 packs a day. Be like, fuck it.
Shit.
I got Carrek number 2 in the basement.
I should be the evil Carrek, is
There
what
you
you're
go.
saying.
Yeah.
Evil Carrek.
The new Carrek. I have to shave my beard down.
You can make several clones, and then you could kill them doing wrestling matches.
Man, okay, so pretty soon I'm gonna have my own screen. I'm
Just
writing
like
that,
the most
yeah.
extreme, crazy shit.
Like you have to put him in a tank full of piranhas.
You just paint like a 6 on the back. Oh, Carrek 6 died.
Carrek 6 died. Welcome to Carrek All-Star Wrestling.
People
Same
pay money
dude.
to people pay money to do whatever move on you they want.
Right. Yeah.
Holy dude, hold up. If you
$1,000 to kill me.
Yeah, $1,000 to kill me. Oh shit, that's a great name for it.
There you go.
$1,000 to kill.
$1,000.
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do?
$1,000.
Right.
My name is Dr. Carrek Coleman. I've developed a system to keep cloning myself. For $1,000, you can kill me.
You have to come out with the lab coat though. That's the sell. Like you gotta do it.
That's like legitimate. That's what legitimate. I need a lab coat and a lanyard of some sort.
Yeah.
You ever just imagine what someone looks like out in public, like a really fat person would look like getting angle slammed, or just sometimes I'll imagine people I'm talking to, like they're on my school day or just at the store, like that old lady. How would she take a choke slam?
Or a power bomb.
Or a power bomb.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you
the one I
kind of know because the internet is filled in like I just even see random stuff myself, but of just like the most horrendous amateur videos of guys trying to pull off moves that should not try to do
Don't
these
try
moves.
this at home.
Yeah, and it's like,
shout out to Superhuman, my favorite fucking YouTube channel. Have you seen that kid?
yeah.
I love him.
Exhibit
I'm
A,
sorry, like,
you know.
yeah, that's what happens when you make your
That's
autism
very
work for
interesting.
you. I don't
Right,
know.
yeah.
Very interesting take on Superhuman. I like to watch, I almost said love, but I like to watch his videos and see all the stuff he does, but it's dumb.
It's so dumb.
And I'm not gonna subscribe to it.
No, you know why?
I'll watch them.
Here's the problem. This is why he deserves your views and whatnot. For such a weird little motherfucker doing such a weird little motherfucking thing, he's surprisingly charismatic. Like he has that whole speech and shit. He's like, "This one's for all juggalos and juggalettes. Hope you enjoy it."
He better be
Right.
charismatic.
He is though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna take an F5 into a dumpster.
Come out, bitch! And it's like, oh shit.
No,
Fuck
I'm
this
not
shit.
taking his shit on what he's.
But even-
I think he's a genius. He came up with 3 different catchphrases that he uses every episode to the point where it's on fucking t-shirts, and he's willing to put his body through fucking hell.
And he gets to go to some wrestling conferences.
He just won a match against fucking Matt Ryan, or not Matt Ryan. Yeah, King of Dong style.
So
yeah,
I'm not. I guess on a philosophical level, I'm not a fan of someone hurting themselves like that, but for what he's been able to do and
what he's accomplished through it, it's kind of weird.
That's amazing. That's Superhuman is a weird biome social experiment.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing anything even similar to what that guy does.
Right.
But for some reason,
It works.
it works, man. Like he is so very entertaining.
$1,000 do a move on Superhuman.
Right.
He'd let you. Are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding, man?
Like $100.
Yeah, probably. He's like,
But he has to help you do the move. He can't sandbag a Powerball. Like,
No,
dude,
no.
you gotta help me do the move.
Yeah.
You have to let me Canadian destroy you.
I'm gonna see if this fucking ankle lock that Ken Shamrock had will really break your ankle. Oh, it will. It's so simple. Okay, can we talk about the Ken Shamrock ankle lock for just a second?
Yeah.
So simple. It was literally just like he twisted your ankle around.
Yeah.
But you could really tell on that dude's face and on the dude who was in that move's face that if he like just kind of
just a little bit more pressure, just a couple more,
your ankle would just snap.
Yeah. I was like,
It was not a fake wrestling move. It was a legitimate ankle lock.
And the Angle did it too.
Well,
yeah,
he
Angle
was
did do it too. That's right.
He was like an actual like combat fighter
Ken
before
Shamrock,
Yeah.
he did it wrestling, kind of like Brock Lesnar, right? Like
it was kind of one of those things where like it was before MMA became like a big money item, and so these guys, you know, they were so trained up, but I mean they had this legitimate. What was cool about the guys like Steve Blackman and Ken Shamrock and Brock Lesnar is that they already had the tough guy reputation before even coming in to wrestling.
Gunn.
Right.
Yeah, Bart Gunn.
Got knocked out to Butterbean, but who wouldn't?
Butterbean has knocked so many motherfuckers out though. Do you know who Butterbean is?
Yes.
Okay, Butterbean is an inexplicable athlete.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like Uncle Fester in American fucking flag shorts.
The Brawl for All.
Oh, that's what killed fucking Dr. Death, who we talked about earlier.
So for one match, they in like sometime in 1998, they had this tournament where they came out and these dudes
Shoot boxing.
fought, or they boxed. But
it was a shoot. It was for real boxing.
Gunn kicked everyone's ass.
Yeah, a like B-level character who was supposed to get knocked out of that tournament like real early
Everyone
on.
beats Bart Gunn, the character, but Bart Gunn, the person, kicked everyone's ass.
Kicked everyone's ass. Like, they had this dude that they built up, Dr. Death.
Now, this was like lower tier. You didn't see Stone Cold or Shawn Michaels going through the Brawl for All. So this was lower tier. To probably.
Bart Gunn kicked everyone's ass.
And Dr. Death was suited to be this guy, Dr. Death.
He was set up to be huge.
Yeah.
Like he had already had a reputation as a tough guy on the indies. He was also a legitimate like sumo or some shit, something weird. Maybe not sumo, like kickboxing.
I don't remember what background he had.
Some discipline he had though, but it was like it made people be like, oh shit. And then they put him in the Brawl for All tournament, built him up like this bad motherfucker, and then Bart Gunn, this fucking redneck from like North Carolina, fucking cleared this dude's fucking room out. And just like down. This guy had a left hook that took out like 5 fucking wrestlers.
Damn.
And then who did they put somebody in the ring? I think it was Steve Blackman. They put Steve Blackman in the ring, who was like a legit fighter. And then Steve Blackman was finally the guy that kicked Bart Gunn's ass. Because the problem was Vince hated Bart Gunn in his entirety, but Bart Gunn was beating everybody's asses in these shoot matches.
Yeah.
Which is, you think about it, is hilarious. Just like the fucking lowest tier wrestler on our entire roster is the guy that just can legitimately beat the shit out of everybody.
It's kind of great though.
It kind of is.
Did it like help his career at all? Did he like go?
Killed it completely. Absolutely annihilated it.
He did get a WrestleMania moment.
He got a WrestleMania moment.
WrestleMania 15 is probably my favorite WrestleMania. That's in the smack in the middle of the Attitude Era, but that was the first WrestleMania I remember caring about.
Yeah, that was the one that had Mike Tyson and all that bullshit.
It had Butterbean knocking. That was the WrestleMania.
Yeah, they finally brought in Butterbean, who, as you know,
they built this match to be this fucking clash of the fucking.
Butterbean beat the fucking living shit out of Bart Gunn.
In the time it took him to finish that sentence, that was the match.
Yeah, like they came out, like the bell rang, they came out, Butterbean came out, Bart Gunn threw a couple of, and then Butterbean just starts wailing on it. Just dropping fucking clubs, man. And then he was just done. It was done. It was so done.
Ouch.
But that was always Butterbean's thing. If you go back and watch that guy's career,
in Jackass in the movie.
Oh my god, when he beat the shit out of Johnny Knoxville, you see that.
Is Butterbean okay?
Yeah. Johnny Knoxville's like bleeding from his head and shit.
He wakes up from being knocked out. Is Butterbean fine?
Is Butterbean okay? It's like Butterbean killed you, man. But what's funny is like if you go back and watch, because Butterbean also did Pride Fighting, and it was the same thing. Like his opponents just didn't take him seriously because he seriously looked like Uncle Fester in
his name is Butterbean,
and his name is Butterbean. But he would just come out and drop these fucking hammers on people that they just couldn't handle.
Oh, he's a big dude.
He's so good though. He's actually short though. He's like 5'10".
Yeah.
or something like that. Not short, but like,
But
you know, like
not the
he's
mammoth
not,
you would think
he's not
he
the
was.
mammoth that you think he
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean?
He's not like an Andre the Giant character.
Yeah, like fuck yeah, he's a normal sized dude. He's just wide. You know what I mean? And then
if I were tasked with the duty of listing 100 of the most interesting human specimens to have ever lived on the earth, Butterbean would be on that list.
Yeah, no, for sure, because he has surprising endurance for a dude that looks like that. Like, he's the literal, like, reason appearances can be deceiving is a thing.
He's the textbook.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, because you can hit hard in boxing, but if you don't have stamina, you're done.
Right.
You're just
That's the whole
done.
thing.
Like, a couple of body shots and then somebody clips you in the jaw and you're down. I learned that lesson the hard way. That is why I'm not a boxer.
Right.
I got knocked out a lot because I had no stamina.
Yeah.
But Butterbean is like, I've seen that guy. He went. Did you see that match with the Japanese boxer? 15 rounds or some shit like that. It was insane. Like, it was a 2.5 hour match with like 3-minute breaks in between rounds. Like, it was nothing. And those guys just fucking killed each other. I think Butterbean, he may have lost that match, but that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like, you fought that dude for 2.5 hours. So, Randall, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Well, Carrek and Craig, Monogamizer is going to release an album entitled Purgatory's Hype Men later this year, possibly early next year. It's done. We're just getting it packaged up, figuring out how we want to release it, promote it, all that kind of stuff.
Hell yes.
It's done. That's coming. Shooting Tsars is slated to record an album this winter, or at least be done writing it. It's a long process. And
I get it.
You both know how
It is.
the biome of an album is the very tippy end of, okay, it's all written to the very tippy end of, okay, finally, a year later, it's all fucking recorded.
Yeah.
But that's happening too.
Do you know where you're going to record the Shooting Stars album?
We'll probably do drums through Civil Audio and try to do a lot of the guitar ourselves. Still juggling that around because we want to also buy a new operating system and like revamp our recording and jam space to be able to do it ourselves.
So you're ambitious. I like it.
It is ambitious. We'll see when we get there.
And when is the next Shooting Stars show?
It'll be November 27th at Trees, and we're opening up that show for Days and Days.
Nice. And then you also have an art showing coming up, correct?
Or you have art shows going on right now.
I have work up at TW Gallery, and I don't have work up at anything else. I mean, there will be future shows with my art in it. I am full speed ahead on all.
But if you are in Denton, or if you are going to be around Denton, go up to TW and check out Randall Day's art. He's excellent. I really like your shit. Like, yeah, for real.
Fucking great.
It's really
We had
good.
an open studio this past week, but
And you know that on Warlord Radio, if we don't like something, we will torch it. We will torch it shamelessly. Like, we really like your stuff.
next they do an open studio every semester, so next semester I'll give y'all plenty of heads up and
Please.
y'all come to the studio and
Yeah, I'd love to do that, man. We should do another interview and you secure your title, right? Like, when that
I mean,
comes
if
out.
you're doing another wrestling episode, I have to.
By the time your art show comes around, I predict you will have been on this show 9 more times.
And every time you come, you have to bring the belt over your shoulder.
Always.
Yeah.
I wear it. That bugs me that people don't wear it.
Right?
Chris Jericho well, sometimes he wears it.
As a belt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I would wear it if it fits like that. That's just me. Like,
Nice.
So yeah, we have to buy Randall a belt now. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I'm down.
I know where to get those made.
I'm down. Yeah. We got to get a Warlord Radio belt made.
We
like
totally
an official
do.
Warlord Radio
For as
belt.
much as we talk about wrestling,
And then it will be in all of the promo shots.
you're gonna be more in like another year of doing this. You won't realize how much and how into wrestling you already are.
Right?
Contact.
Yeah, we're gonna get you in on some matches that are like must-see matches, and you're gonna be like, oh shit! Like we were talking about Goldust earlier. There's a street fight between Goldust and Roddy Piper that is like.
You can hear Roddy Piper break his hand on Goldust's face if you go back and watch.
Yeah,
this.
yo, you can hear like he hits him, and you can hear his knuckle pop. Like
You guys, we're going to do a future episode where you guys are going to go full Clockwork Orange on me.
and just like keep
Keep
your
my
eyes open.
While you guys guys show me clips of wrestling throughout the years with little drops keeping me going.
Do you see?
And I'm like, make it stop. You're like, no, this is for Nitro. Like,
1997.
It's the time they covered Vampiro in blood. Or that was Sting. I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Anyway, that episode's coming up.
Right on. I have to get out of here. I have to go make monies. And I'm sorry, guys. But where can we find you and your lovely person online so that people can buy your stuff?
Or just your house if you want to show up.
I mean, like your address.
My address and my phone number and social security number are.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me at Randall on Instagram.
How do you spell that?
Randall.
Renandall on Instagram.
We'll put it in the links at the end.
Monogamizer is the only Monogamizer you'll find on any platform.
That's true.
You can listen to our latest release, Religious Vigor on Bandcamp.
Which is one of my favorite
show.
It's also on our show.
We are going to release another song in the next week or so.
Release the song.
I don't know what song we're releasing yet.
Shooting Tsars. Do you guys have anything recorded right now?
No. Not that isn't already online. We have a split coming out with Escape from the Zoo.
Right on.
Yeah.
What a wild combination, actually.
We shot the cover that we all got a boardroom and dressed in suits and we're all yelling at each other and it's a theme on a merger. It's like a merger split. I don't remember what.
Which I love the idea.
I should know what it's called.
Because if you could see Randall right now, we'll post a picture of him. But like, Randall just kind of looks like everyone's dad, right? he's like, we're gonna build some models in the basement, son, and then I'm gonna go out and kill a hooker.
Right.
Like that's kind of your vibe. I love that.
Build a model inside of her.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, you're such a great guest.
All right. So before we go, I want to know from each of you, what is a particular disappointment in wrestling that you've had? What was like a really hit you hard? You're like, oh, that sucked.
What they're doing with Brock Lesnar in the WWE now is very upsetting because it's like they've just. I don't know, man. He keeps being there and nobody wants him there. It's
Well, what are they trying to do with him? They're trying to make him a star?
Storylines. No, it's what it is like he's a high dollar, like Randall said earlier, like Brock Lesnar puts asses in seats.
Right. I mean, he's a monster dude.
He is a monster dude. He also has that legitimate tough guy reputation. And then again, I'm going to make you watch that Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match where those
part
two
of
just
our Clockwork Orange episode.
Yes, exactly. But they just fight. Like halfway through the match, they just stop wrestling and start beating the shit out of each other.
I guess it would be WWE being such a huge thing. I don't really care for their dealings in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's been they did the whole crown jewel. We talked about that on this episode. There were a bunch of wrestlers that like opted out because it came out right after the Saudi prince allegedly murdered that dude.
And apparently no women are allowed.
Yeah, and no women are allowed.
Yeah.
That just sucks.
It does, because I will say this is like on the flip side of that, one of the best things going on in the WWE right now is the women's division.
Yeah.
These women are fucking killer goddamn wrestlers. They're training them properly. Sorry. I get really excited about women's wrestling. But I mean, it's some of the most entertaining shit on the bill.
It's ever been.
And Charlotte Flair is fucking amazing, just as amazing as her dad was for her division. Honestly, Charlotte Flair is probably one of the best wrestlers on the roster.
Yeah.
Just in terms of all of it, like she can cut it damn.
They can always just hang the title on her.
Yeah.
It'll be okay because she.
You'll never lose legitimacy putting the belt around Charlotte Flair's waist ever.
Right.
Becky Lynch has also built herself up to that status. I am also way more attracted to Becky Lynch than I'm willing to divulge on this show.
I think I already did.
Yeah, I kind of did. I could go way deeper.
Wait for it, right?
Yeah, I could make that a
dedicated
real
episode
bad.
To the fetish.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
She's this really hot, orange-haired Irish badass chick, and her gimmick right now is great. She's #TheMan, like that's her whole thing. Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome.
Right.
And then you got Nikki Cross from Scotland, who is just batshit crazy, and she's so good at doing that gimmick. Like the women's division in WWE is arguably more entertaining than the men's division at this point.
Right on.
Especially like when you go into like NXT and stuff, because they got a lot of really fucking amazing wrestlers on NXT, like Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated wrestlers in the entire like lexicon of wrestling.
I'm not familiar with
she's Johnny Gargano's wife, which I feel like kind of overshadows her career sometimes. Mm-hmm. But like this lady on the indie circuits did like fucking death matches with the Young Bucks and shit, where they put thumbtacks in her mouth and then kicked her in the fucking face.
Ouch.
Yeah, man, it was one of the gnarliest spots I've ever seen. I was like, that looks so horrible. Right. But Candice LeRae, she's, in my opinion, on par athletically with a Charlotte Flair or even Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks is probably a pretty bad person from what I've gathered from news sources and stuff. And then, and she's horrible on the mic. Yeah. She's so goddamn bad on the mic, but in ring, right, probably one of the best ever.
I've never seen Mandy.
You've never seen Mandy? For those of you that don't know, when we do the Warlord Radio podcast, we just play horror movies on mute on the TV, because Craig and I shoot it in the living room. Right. But we're watching Mandy tonight, and every now and then I have seen your eyes just drift over to be like, what the fuck is happening here?
I love this movie. You have to watch it. Yeah.
All right, I have to bolt. I have to go run security for a drag show. Yeah, that's what I do now, and they're lovely people and great performers.
Yeah, it'd be a great time.
In fact, we should have Glitter Bomb out on the fucking episode.
We should. Or we could go there, either way.
Either way. Yeah. Anyway, Randall, we love you.
Fucking Randall, give it up.
Yourself.
Say hello to everybody, or goodbye to everybody.
Clapping for himself. I fucking love this guy. Yes. All right, that's it for Warlord Radio, and as always, fuck Mark Vikernes.
Yes. And listen to us on Harry Rock Radio.
Please listen to us on Harry Rock Radio.
Both of those things.
Yes.
Equal.
Fuck Mark Vikernes, and also listen to us on Harry Rock Radio.
There you go. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
This is the Warlord Radio podcast, and I am Craig.
I am Carrek.
And you can hear us every Sunday night starting at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on Harry Rock Radio.
And we talk to like metalheads and weirdos and punks, and there's all kinds of crazy ass stories going on, so like check it out.
Yeah, tune in.